In this video, I'll be discussing some weapons I think would be an interesting addition to Fortnite's new Ballistic mode. If you guys happen to enjoy this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing and using code WATSUJI in the Fortnite item shop. Also remember, at 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to be ranking every single Fortnite skin, so make sure to subscribe. Let's get straight into the video. Alright, so to kick this video off, I want to talk about the Striker Burst AR. Now, we do have a burst weapon in Ballistic already, being the Thunder Burst SMG, but it's kind of more for close range, and I feel like having a longer range burst weapon would be interesting, and I feel like it would be able to shake the gameplay a little bit. For the Striker Burst AR, I would put two attachments on it, those being the Hollow Optic and Muzzle Brake. Hollow Optic because we don't have another AR with this sight. We have the Striker with the red dot, the Nemesis, I believe has a P2X, and the Enforcer has a P2X, I believe. We don't have any with the Hollow Optic, I believe, so putting a AR in the loot pool that has a hollow optic would just be nice to have. I'd also put a muzzle brake to kind of reduce the kind of recoil, because a longer range AR should have less recoil, in my opinion, especially when it's a burst weapon, because then that second shot's almost never going to hit if it has a lot of recoil. So that's why I'd put those two attachments on this weapon. I just think having another burst weapon for longer ranges would be nice to have, so that's why I am thinking about having the Striker Burst AR in Ballistic. Next, we have the Ranger Shotgun. Now, we have two shotguns in Ballistic right now, those being the Frenzy Auto Shotgun and the Hammer Pump Shotgun. And the Ranger Shotgun, I think, is a unique shotgun that's good and is different enough from the other two that it could be an interesting addition. For the Ranger Shotgun, I would put the red dot sight on it, as well as the speed mag. Now, the Ranger Shotgun does not support mods currently, but they could always just make a version that does and add it to Ballistic, so it's not stopping it from being added to this list. For the red dot sight, the Ranger Shotgun is obviously a longer range shotgun, so having a sight on it makes more sense than on a Hammer Pump Shotgun or the Frenzy Auto Shotgun. And having the speed mag just makes the reload faster, which is important with a shotgun that only has one shot in the clip. So having a speed mag drastically reducing the reload time just benefits this weapon overall and could seriously make it a contender for a choice in your loadout in Ballistic. For my third pick for Ballistic weapons I would like to see would be the dual micro SMGs. Now, we do have two SMGs in Ballistic right now, but neither of them I think are that good. And having an SMG that's like full force, like in your face kind of action would be an interesting way to mix up the playstyle, because right now it's very much sit from afar, use an AR, and beam them while standing still. I think this could be an interesting swap to the gameplay sometimes, you know, grab dual micro SMGs and you can just go right into your opponent's face and just spray and they'd be dead. And you know, I think that could be an interesting way to switch up the gameplay a little bit. Obviously there would be no mod support for this weapon, so I know I said that the Ranger Shotgun doesn't support mods, but this weapon really wouldn't make sense to have mods in the first place, so I'm not going to talk about mods it would have anyways. For my next pick, I'll be talking about the Huntress DMR. Now, the Huntress DMR would be a nice sort of mid-range between the Deagle and the Reaper Sniper Rifle. The Deagle is kind of like a more fast-firing kind of long-range weapon in Ballistic, and the Reaper Sniper Rifle is like a big one-shot, well, it has 3 shots, but you know what I'm saying, like one shot you hit, they're dead, basically, kind of weapon. And the Huntress DMR, I believe, would add some contrast to this. It'd be kind of like, take the best from both worlds and put it into one weapon. That's what the Huntress DMR kind of would be in Ballistic, in my opinion. For mods, I would put a thermal scope and an angled foregrip on it. Thermal scope because there's no other weapons in Ballistic that have a thermal scope, and I just think the thermal scope is pretty good, in my opinion. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but I think it's pretty good, and I always used it on Huntress DMR when I picked one up in-game. And the angled foregrip would just make zooming in with this weapon a lot quicker. I believe that's what the angle foregrip does, but I could be wrong about that. There could be another one. But, you know, just reducing the ADS time would be beneficial to this weapon, because I believe the Reaper Sniper Rifle has quite a long ADS time, so having a similar weapon that doesn't have that issue would be interesting to see. For the next weapon in this video, I'll be talking about the dual pistols. Now, dual pistols would not replace your normal weapon, they would replace the Ranger pistol that you spawn with at the beginning of every game. So right now, how Ballistic works is you have a Ranger pistol, and then you have your other weapon, which is one that you'd buy. Now, you can't get rid of your Ranger pistol because there isn't any other replacements for it, but in a game like Valorant, there are a few options you can choose from for your kind of sidearm weapon, so having another option I think would be beneficial, and you know, it doesn't have to be crazy, it could be a cheap weapon, you know, but I think just having a bit more variety in your loadout would be interesting. Obviously, this weapon will not support mods similar to the dual micro SMGs, so I'm not going to talk about those here. And finally, the last weapon in this video I'll be talking about would be the Monarch pistol. So the Monarch pistol is interesting because it's very similar to the Deagle, but it has a few quirks that make me inclined to pick it for this video. That being the obvious hip fire to ADS, fire rate, and damage differences. Having a weapon do that in this kind of game might shake things up a little bit, might provide a little bit of variety. It's like, oh, do you want the deagle that's always going to do this amount of damage, or do you want this monarch pistol that can kind of adjust to your playstyle and your situation? So I think that'd be interesting. For the attachments, I would put the P2X scope on it, which is the same one that the Enforcer has in game currently, and the laser. P2X I don't believe was ever available for the monarch pistol because they never coexisted, but the P2X also probably would not have been able to go on a monarch pistol normally, but in the day of Doom LTM they did put a thermal scope, which is basically a P2X but with like a different shape. So I believe a P2X would be interesting to see on this weapon, and the laser would just be beneficial for the hip fire for this weapon, you know, preventing the kind of recoil, you know, and I just think it would overall benefit the monarch pistol and ballistic. Alright, if you guys enjoyed that video, consider leaving a like and subscribing and using code WATSOG in the Fortnite item shop. Also remember, at 2,000 subscribers I'm going to be ranking every single Fortnite skin, so make sure to subscribe. Alright, see you in the next one. Later.